Epic's new search and destroy mode in Fortnite Ballistic just released, and today guys, I'm here to give you my first thoughts and first impressions on the game. I have only played a couple games so far, but still, that's what this is all about, right? It's first impressions. Maybe about a weekend we can make an adjustment video to see if it's been getting repetitive or anything like that, but anyways, I wanted to give my first thoughts on it, and we're going to take a look at a couple first impressions as well. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. So guys, I think this has an incredible amount of potential, because obviously search and destroy is a game mode in Call of Duty, and if you want to talk about like Valorant as well, like the game mode for search and destroy is very popular. It stood the test of time. Like it is something that can absolutely succeed. You just need to make sure that your game functions well enough, updates a little bit, but you don't even need to update it all that much. Like there is a hardcore search and destroy kind of game mode community behind it, and I'm one of those people. I love search and destroy in Call of Duty. I've never gotten into Valorant myself. I've never tried it, just not the fact that I didn't like it or anything. And I grew up playing search constantly. This with custom games would be a blast. Like I know that we can do it, but you get the point. Like I am very excited for this. From my first impressions, I think it's great. I know there's been some matchmaking issues, but I personally only had one particular matchmaking issue, and then I was able to play Ballistic, and I don't know if it was changing it to ranked. I tried playing it in ranked. It doesn't really matter. So I got in the game. When I was in the game, it felt incredibly smooth. The UI was clean. The graphics were clean. The gameplay flowed very nicely. I wasn't stuttering, anything like that. They did a really good job in this initial early access launch. So far, I like the map. I like the Call of Duty feel that it has to it, which is very interesting. And I'll need to play on the map a little bit more to kind of gauge how I actually like the map, but it's classic search and destroy. Everybody has one life. You plant the bomb. I think it runs very nicely. I like that everybody has a perk. I do have a couple critiques though. I hate the weapons. I hate the Chapter 5 weapons, but I also understand why they went that route. If they're trying to make it like a Call of Duty search and destroy thing, I get that you want those kind of realistic weapons. I would like to add that Fortnite touch to it. Maybe in ranked, have the Chapter 5 weapons, and if you're just playing regular Ballistic, then you could add things like, I always thought it'd be cool, like what if you want to have like something like a railgun? That might be a little bit too much for some people, but regardless, I think it'd be cool to have those like Fortnite wacky items added to the game, especially if you want to add like many more items within the perks section, all right? I think that would be really nice. But that is not, I understand that's not really something to complain about, because that's not really what the mode is for. It's to gather that Call of Duty search and destroy community. I think they're doing a great job so far. I don't know if they're going to actually be able to capture people over from Call of Duty, because there are a lot of COD players who have the attitude of, wow, this isn't Call of Duty. You know, kind of like the same types of people that are like, oh, this isn't OG Fortnite. No thanks. You know, it's those same types of things. And quite frankly, they shouldn't be obligated to try OG Fortnite, or excuse, not OG Fortnite, Fortnite Ballistic or anything like that. I'm just saying, I doubt that this is going to get the COD crowd. What this is going to capture is people like me, people who grew up on COD, people who still do like COD, but prefer Fortnite. If I'm on Fortnite, I'd rather just play the Find It in Fortnite version, as opposed to booting up a new game, potentially waiting for an update, a game that you'd have to pay for, by the way, because now I have a bunch of friends who only want to play a free game. A lot of people don't want to go buy a Call of Duty. Why not just play the search and destroy on Fortnite, assuming that it runs well? And so far, it's running very well. What I hope Epic Games continues to do is add different weapons, maybe rotate out some weapons. Again, I would like to see, and I'm so for this no matter what we're doing, a split in the loot pool between competitive and casual. I think that would help the mode a lot, because while I don't see myself getting burnt out of this, because again, I do love the search and destroy kind of mode that Epic Games is putting on here, and I've never gotten tired of searching Call of Duty. I can see this mode getting very repetitive for a lot of people, using the same weapons, using the same bland Chapter 5 weapons there, and playing on the same map. As the mode continues on, I would imagine that we're going to get many more maps. I would imagine we're going to get more perks. I would imagine we're going to get more weapons. I imagine this mode is going to get completely flushed out, because again, this is, at the time you're watching this video, this is day 2, early access of the game. So far for its infancy, I think it's great. I think it's a great addition to the metaverse, but I hope they add new maps, and I hope they build original maps like they did for this mode. I get that it's inspired by something on Chapter 6, but man, it's really cool to have a Ballistic version of the map, like just its own thing. I would love it if they were to continue building original maps like this, and also sprinkling in something like Greasy Grove on there, something that everybody's familiar with. First person on Fortnite's very interesting though, because it feels weird for Fortnite. That's the problem with me, but it's not even a problem. It's not even a problem. I'd rather play this in first person than I would third person. I'm interested to see how they're going to monetize this. I think we're going to finally get weapon charms. I think they're going to include a lot of weapon wraps. Something that we were just talking about on stream is you can get really, really intricate with the way you build your wraps now and then sell them in Fortnite. I was playing with PBJ and Twisty Chase, and we were talking about the idea of having a battle pass for Fortnite Ballistic, because obviously this is something that Epic Games is going to move forward with full time. It's a brand new early access game mode to the metaverse, and they want to capture in that Call of Duty Valorant community, right? I can see them adding a battle pass to this. I think that would be fantastic. I still think it'd be cool if it was included in the Fortnite crew, but I would imagine at that point they're going to bump up the price of the Fortnite crew. Either that or have like different tiers of the Fortnite crew. I think that'd be cool too. Like, hey, top tier, you get absolutely everything, and then so on and so forth, you move all the way down. I could see them finally adding weapon charms because of this, because obviously the more modes, the more monetization potential, and there's nothing wrong with Epic Games doing that. Before you comment down below calling them greedy, you don't need any weapon charms. It'd just be another nice quality of life feature. Like, I personally think the better options for customizing your character, I think the better, because at the end of the day, if I don't want it, I don't buy it. That's my entire thought process when it's coming to this. But other than that, the only other problem that I think I have with this is I wish we could emote. I don't see why we can't emote. I got all excited because like, oh, maybe the emoting was bugged, but I figured out we could only emote like while you're waiting for the game to start. It is a little bit strange kind of zooming out of your character and zooming back in, but I still would prefer for the emote to go just in first person. Like, why not just see my hands like doing whatever with my emote? I use the tomato a lot. I think that'd be awesome to just start whipping tomatoes. I don't see why you can't emote in this. I wish we could, even if it's zoom. Oh, I just thought about this in real time. Emoting and zooming out to third person gives you a better field of view. I never thought about that. That's probably the reason. But even then, just have it so it's in first person. Why not? I'm sure that that's not difficult for Epic Games to code. My whole attitude for that is just, why not? Why not? Like, just enable the emoting, don't change the camera, don't have it zoom out. That's gotta be easy, right? And I'm always the one sitting here saying, like, Epic Games, it's very difficult for them to make these updates that you all want. That can't be difficult, okay? But other than that, I think the mode's great. I love Search and Destroy. It's obviously not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I think this is going to gather a very, very competitive side of the community, and it's going to succeed with time, especially with updates, because right now, it's in its infancy. You guys can't forget that, because I would imagine that there's going to be people logging on, streaming, playing games for like maybe 4 or 5 hours straight, and then the game's going to get repetitive because, again, it's still in its infancy. There's no new maps. There's no new weapons. The perks are pretty basic right now, but that's also what makes Search and Destroy a great thing. Another thing that I would like is to add the game chat. Add the game chat like Search and Destroy has, and you have a peak Fortnite experience. Epic Games is not going to do that. I don't know. I do know why they're afraid of it, but I hate that idea. And before you comment down below, I'm not jumping into saying some horrible thing like back in the Xbox 360 days. I just love when you could play a game of Search and Destroy, nobody was chatting to each other, well, besides your team, and then in between games when you're on the scoreboard, everybody's yapping at each other, like, and it makes for that like real hardcore competitive fun, right? As long as nobody is saying like anything absolutely outlandish. I think trash talk is fun in video games, and if Epic Games could ever consider doing that in a final kill cam, like straight up do what COD used to do and what everybody loved COD, because it's obvious that they're making a COD inspired mode. Why not just go all the way and copy it all the way, man? Why not? Why not? It's not original for Epic Games unless you start adding those wacky items. Please, Epic. This has so much potential. Regardless, even if they don't do those things, I see this game mode succeeding in the future. Right now, I don't know if it's going to get a lot of players when like moving. Obviously, right now it has a lot of players because it's brand new. I think we're going to see a big drop off, and I think we're going to see a big comeback and a nice steady rise as time goes on. But it's not just about what I think. I asked you guys over on Twitter what you thought about the brand new mode. I want to take a look at a couple replies. I didn't have time because I had a busy day. Yeah, I'm recording this video yesterday by the time you're seeing it today. I didn't have a lot of time to search through the Explore page, so we're just going with a couple replies from this. This is what I had to say. Would anyone like to share their first impressions on the mode? Might be using some in tomorrow's video. Heads up, recording very soon. Thank you for your time, and I was only able to gather a few tweets. Sorry about that, guys. I appreciate your time as always. We do these all the time, so if you would like to follow me on Twitter or X at Clen YouTube, you can find that in the link tree down below in the description as well. Let's take a look at what Nitron had to say. The lobby screen is awesome. Really enjoying my time matchmaking. Unfortunately, it seems like a ton of people have been having matchmaking issues. For me, I had a matchmaking issue. I switched over to ranked. It worked perfectly fine. So hopefully That's the same for everybody else, but I know that's a big frustration that people are having. Let's take a look at what Sia had to say. This game mode highlights Epic's potential with the metaverse. They have been spoiling us recently with OG, Chapter 6 Season 1, Brick Life, and now Ballistic. This makes the metaverse look less like a cash grab, and I'm super curious about what they will give us in the next few years. And not only are they going to what they're going to give us, these modes are going to get even better, more fleshed out, with more updates, more secure. The metaverse is turning into an amazing thing, especially because Battle Royale is not suffering. Epic Games has been absolutely killing it in Chapter 6 Season 1 so far, and this seems like just the beginning, man. If we're off to this big of a start, I can only hope, and I hope we don't see a drop off, but I think that Epic Games is going to continue on with this pace. Let's continue on to what Morgo had to say. I love that Epic are branching out into different genres. Not fully into this one, but I would love to see a first-person Gulag 2vs2 mode, similar to what released with MW 2019. That'd be really fun, and at this point, nothing's off the table for Epic Games. Like, I don't know if they're actually doing this. I've heard some people talking about it. I don't know if this is going to be something that's going to be a template for people to build off of Ballistic, but regardless, with UEFN and its potential now, make a Gulag 2vs2. That has some serious life-changing monetary value to it, but it's very nice that Epic Games is branching out into different genres. The Find It in Fortnite type for Epic right now is going to be great. It's succeeding so far. It took them a good year, but this is looking so good, man. Nor had this to say, I haven't played ranked yet, but you can't really play casual as of right now. Teammates are constantly leaving or are just AFK throughout the entire game, but when this doesn't happen, it's pretty fun. Still feels like a bit rough around the edges, but I'm sure they'll improve it. There was one game where we were winning and then there ended up only being one guy left in the lobby. I think what Epic Games needs to do is start introducing penalties like they have with ranked. If you leave the game, you can't play for this long. That's what Halo had back in the day. I don't recall if COD had it, but it's the right thing to do because you can't just, I'm mad and I'm leaving the game. Like, no, play your game. That's not fair to your teammates. That's absolutely ridiculous. Let's continue on to Dwanch. Bruh, Epic is better at making UAFN maps than 99% of the community. I think a big factor is they can literally add anything they want, like new weapons and items. That's true, but this game mode is also something that UAFN map makers could have done. And we're going to make a video very soon talking about this. Maybe, you know what? Maybe this particular tweet, because that's a very, very interesting one. But I do have some content cooked up and ready to go. Like, there's a lot of content to make, a lot of stuff to talk about with Fortnite, guys. But if you want to keep talking about Fortnite, then you can check out this video on screen right here. I would love to have you guys over here if you want to keep watching the channel. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care.